Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping before we continue on with this. I don't vape, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any of that. I'm lame. Okay. So you may have noticed, if you've been watching TV, you may have noticed that there are new anti-vaping commercials, but I think they created them in such a way that actually promotes vaping in a way. Because there's this screenshot that I'll have like right here. So basically they created a fucking dinosaur out of metal elements. And you know what? That is the coolest fucking thing I've seen all week. That is that is metal as hell. Like like even in the commercial they say, "Oh, we made this commercial to show you that metal can be inhaled through your lungs," but all I heard is, "This is metal." I was like, yeah! Because why would you show a teenager the coolest fucking thing in the world to them? The most metal thing. A dinosaur made out of metal. That is the coolest thing that we've ever seen. And if anything, we're gonna really want to do that. If we're as dumb as you think we are, you are just promoting this. Okay? But, another issue that I have with vaping commercials, recent and, old, is that they always tell you that there's metals and all that poisonous crap inside of every single vape. And I kind of don't like how every time they tell you these metals, they just tell you these metals but never tell you what they do. Okay? And also, I got these from Wikipedia, and I don't really appreciate the fact that they use like a million buzzwords and they never just tell you straight up what something does. Like here, nickel. I read the thing for nickel. It had a million this is just what I could get from it. It is a carcinogen that inflammates your lungs. And half of us don't even know what a carcinogen is. A carcinogen basically makes cancer by doing crap that really hurts. There is some form of, it gets into your cells and it like fucks up the nucleus or something like that. Okay, another one that they use a lot is chromium, which is, all I could get from it was, it's a carcinogen. Something about oxidation and whatever the fuck. Then we got lead. And lead is a poisonous metal that fucks your brain by impersonating calcium. And that's why we have, like, lead poisoning. There's a whole different thing of it. So basically what it does is, it impersonates calcium, and it gets into your bloodstream, which eventually gets to your head and actually leads to a lot of dangerous things. And then we got formaldehyde, which is sort of like formic acid, which is an actual acid, unlike the ones I was talking about in the one where I was reading product labels. That's an actual acid. And formic acid is, when it's paired with formaldehyde, it is blinding. This is all the information that I could get from 5 pages of Wikipedia. Because they don't know how to write their crap. I'd rather look at fan wikis for vape. But, like, you could have just said it'll fuck you up 4 different ways, but they just had to go with the, there's metal in there and you don't want metal in your lungs. But no, I have to eat iron in every food that I eat. Why wouldn't I want nickel or lead or any of that? And chromium makes it sound like I'm going to be shiny on the inside. And everybody wants to look cool at this age. Why would you advertise that? You should say, it will blind you, it'll fuck up your lungs, and it'll fuck up your head. And you know what? How come they always make everybody in the commercial look cool as hell? Like, I mean, they're trying to make them look like hood, like gangster. You should realize that teenagers my age and people who are into that are gonna really empathize with these people. What you need to do is when you get when you're showing someone vaping and you want teenagers to not want to be like them, just show them being pussies. Like, you could have the strong dude who lives on, normal foodstuffs or whatever. He walks up to a guy that's vaping. He says, "Hey, what are you doing?" "I don't want any trouble." Like, why would you show someone really cool why would you show someone really cool vaping? That's stupid. And why would you show the most metal thing that any child has ever seen and telling them that that's a bad thing? Hell no. What you should have done is you should have made like a fucking puppy or something. Just like, and then nobody would ever want to do that because we don't want to look like pussies in front of our friends. I just don't get it. Why, like, if you really wanted to show how bad vaping is and you want to keep the teens from doing that, don't tell them facts. Then they'll just tune you out. You gotta tell them fake facts, like, vaping, it doesn't make you cool. And by the way, don't say that. Don't say it doesn't make us look cool because you're an adult, and if an adult tells you that something doesn't look cool, you're gonna fucking do it because you think it's cool. What we should do is we should get proactive teens, like myself, maybe a couple others, and you should make us write the ad. We should write the ad. But you know what? Anti-vape companies, they're scared to do that because we think that we have some sort of code. We fucking don't. Or I've never been told it. Well, you should get a teenager saying something that sounds like something a teenager would say into telling you that vape is bad. And also, the message shouldn't just be vape is bad. Like, you need to give facts. Not only give facts, but you need to present it in a way that's interesting. It needs to make sense, and it needs to make sense to us teens. You can't tell us, whenever you vape, you may inhale nickel, chromium, lead, formaldehyde, and formic acid. Because, for one thing, nickel is what I like to find on the road. I like nickels. They're the perfect weight to balance out the record needle. Not like any people my age would know that, as far as I know. Chromium, I looked up on Google Chrome to find out what chromium is. Chromium might make you think that you're smarter. Led Zeppelin, dumbass. Formaldehyde, that sounds overly scientific. I didn't even want to look it up, but I looked it up and it's nothing. It is mainly based on a whole different substance. And the aldehyde also sounds pretty neat, but if you look it up, it's not that bad on its own. If anything, we should be more scared of chromium. That shit, it scares me. But, and also, speaking of getting scared, don't just do fear-mongering. You should do the opposite of fear-mongering. Like, back in the day, right? You catch your kid smoking a cigarette, you make him smoke a whole pack so that he'll hate it, right? Adults should be saying, yeah, this shit's fucking awesome. But then just being really obnoxious about it. Because no matter what, us teenagers, we fucking hate it when someone's obnoxious. We're close to adults in that fashion. We don't like it like that. We don't like to see some dickhead in the middle of the courtyard like we don't want that. We don't want that. And you know what? Every person my age that I know that vapes, he's an ass. Like, maybe he's cool in some other aspect, but he's a dickhead. In fact, you should probably get grandma hit in the jewel, because then nobody is going to want that. You should know this, because you were a kid at some point. If you make vape commercials, and you're watching this, which I know you aren't, but look, you were a kid once too. If you saw your mom doing something did you want to do it? Like, if you really like skateboarding, alright, and you're not like me, and you see your mom doing it, and she did a better trick than you, you're gonna be driven away, because, fuck, my mom does it. That's for old people now. Like, why would you... Like, look, these anti-vape commercials are clearly written by adults who don't know what teenagers are gonna do. But, and they clearly don't have kids either. Like, this is going for small kids who will believe anything you say. You need to target this to people like me. We are more susceptible to falling into pitfalls because we saw something cool on TV. Now, I'm not saying that we're all dumb. I'm not. I don't think so. But we're not all stupid. But for the stupid ones, you have to make sure that that shit's like horribly uncool. Are you getting this? If you show some fucking weirdo with a buttoned up shirt, tie coming down, fucking nice shorts, freaking shaved legs, even though he's a dude, knee-high socks, freaking dumbass haircut, fucking Urkel looking bitch, then we're not gonna want to do that because we want to look cool, like me. You should show a really cool dude, and not freaking 90s cool. Sup, bro? You wanna go skateboarding? Ah, totally tubular. No. You get someone who is respected to turn down vape. Like friggin' Nickelodeon should be doing this. Remember when Pee Wee Herman did that bit on crack? We should be doing that. Like, we should be doing that nowadays. The war on drugs is still going, except now the drugs are legal for the most part. Legalize weed. But I don't get how any adult does not understand how someone my age works. That's just, how do you fuck it up so bad? You get the coolest fucking thing on the planet. A dinosaur made out of metal chasing a dude. And then shooting knives into his lungs that astral projected from his chest. That is metal. And we're gonna really want to do that. We want to see that shit. We're like, yo, I had a dragon chasing me for 5 blocks. What was the end goal? Oh, they're gonna be scared of that, and they're not gonna want to see that. They're not gonna understand. No. You should know that we don't listen. So you should make everything visual. First off, get someone that we respect, make them reject it, and make someone who makes sense. Don't get Snoop Dogg to be like, yo, no, that'll fizzle with your shizzle. Get it in your lizzle. Like, because we know what he's known for. And get someone like fucking, I don't know who we idolize these days. Like, get Captain America to go, vaping is wrong. And while you're at it, get Tony Stark, for fuck's sake. Like, just get everybody, like, get someone that's not expected either. Like, freaking, in your days, that would have been George Carlin or something. I don't know. Like, frick. Who's someone that we're not expecting? Fucking Kanye East? Kanye West? Northeast, West, South? Get him. Like, I don't know if he does it. Just get someone like fucking Lizzo, or I don't know who the hell we're talking about these days. I don't keep up. But get one of those people. Get one of the people that we weren't expecting and say, vape is wrong. Don't get some dude that we've never heard of, or maybe we have heard of him. I never heard of him. Just get someone that we care about. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who he is. He's just telling me that vape is wrong. And I think he probably understood that, but I didn't, because I was like, wait, what's the problem? And don't explain fucking a whole different medium while you're trying to convince someone not to do something. Like, you don't go, oh, don't eat apples. Why? Because pickles have seeds. Don't do that. That's bad planning. Like, you said, oh, vaping is wrong, but let's show you how VFX works and movies are made with CGI, and then we have really cool music. Like, also, that music hyped me up. I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. Like, just don't do that. Get, like, freaking, I don't know who's a nerd. Freaking a Harry Potter wannabe looking guy. Get fucking Edward from Twilight vaping. We'll fucking boycott every single thing. We'll be like, vaping is wrong. Why? 'Cause a vampire did it. And then we'll never touch that shit again. Like, back in those days, the minute kids saw Pee Wee Herman telling you that crack was bad, they were like, I'll do it for you, Pee Wee. And you know what, if we were going to be proactive about this, get kids that are interested but never tried it before, and just set them on the hardest shit. Like, I'm going to tell a story right now. When I first... Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, so when I was in class, right, in the middle of class, because kids do this, they go blow it onto the floor and fan it. Like, that's a normal occurrence. I have to deal with it. I dealt with it a lot in school. You know, it's alright. I was just low-key about it. I just let them do that. I didn't give a shit. So, one time, I was sitting across from these couple kids. They were across the classroom, and I think the teacher was... He was looking at his computer, and then they called me over. They're like, hey, yo, Goji, come here. And I walked over. They were like, dude, get the fuck down. And of course, I'm squatting. I'm like, yeah, what do you want? You're like, you think you can handle this? Like, it's gonna be a stand-in for the vape. It's like one of those tiny little fucking square things that you gotta suck on one corner and press them on, like, ooh, motherfucker had like fucking 40 nick. Okay, so basically, if you don't know what that is, so there's like this ranking system on how strong like the vape is. You know what? It would have been nice, and I probably would have gotten hooked if they started me off at like 1 or 2. But no, they got me at fucking 40. So basically, like, I wasn't like, but I was like holding it in, and it fucking burned. It hurt, motherfucker. Like, I felt like they just killed me. Like, I'm holding in the smoke, but I was like, and of course, you know, I got a little smoke cloud coming out. You're like, dude, what the fuck? And I was like, bruh, I don't know how that fucking hurt. And they were like, dude, you could have got us caught. And I was like, dude, that fucking hurt. Go back to where you were. Do what you were doing earlier. I was like, okay. And of course, teacher looks at me like, what happened to you? I hit my chest on the desk. Not really, but freaking, it hurt like hell. And you know what, even then, like, fucking, even after that, like, I tried it twice more. You know, it was lower, but, like, it still fucking hurt. So, you know what we should do, if we're being proactive about this, instead of going to people's schools and saying, hey, vape's bad, goodbye. Because I'm pretty sure that they do that in the mainland at this point. Actually, no. But, because I remember that they used to do that back in the day with the DARE program. Like, I think, yeah, no, they still do that. I mean, not anymore, because, like, we got Corona. But instead of, like, doing that, we should just be handing them out. Like, fuck. We should give little kids crack. Now I'm kidding. But if we went to every school in the world, one dude had vape, and he just, like, nothing, right? And then you go to obviously the nerdiest kid in the school and say, hey, take a hit. Like, don't even ask him, go, take a fucking hit, you pussy. And then make him go, and then, like, go up to the obvious kid that, you know, already vape, go up to him and be like, take a fucking hit. But then, okay, this is gonna be the most controversial part. We kill the kid. No, but make sure it's the strongest fucking thing. Go up to the kid. Hey, take a hit. And of course you go like get just the most disgusting flavor. Like I know people like cucumber and shit. I don't know. Like get fucking cotton candy or something. Just get something that fucking burns. Get something that burns the chest. Like spicy. Like make it like fucking poison. Make them sick for a couple days. Shit, even ask the parents, hey, like even give out a form. Hey, this is gonna better society. If you let us make your kids sick for a week, nobody's gonna vape in that fucking school. Then everybody will be fine, except for that kid. Like, don't make it too deadly. But just make sure that he knows that it fucking hurts. 'Cause it does. And then like, actually, you know what? Give everybody a taste of how much it hurts. Like, you know what would make me as a child not want to do any of the drugs is if I did all the... Nah, I'm kidding. Nah, that's actually stupid. But if I as a kid saw a crack addict, then I would stay away from that shit because crack addicts scare me. Even now, like I haven't seen one, but fucking the way that people describe them, they scare the shit out of me, and I get called a crackhead, and anybody who acts like me, I'm also scared of. Ooh, or better yet, we could get a contortionist. You should get contortionist to do vape. Like, we bring over a contortionist, nobody knows he's a contortionist. He shows up, he's like, kids, if you think that vape isn't bad, watch this. And then do the fucking exorcist crab walk thing down the stairs. That would be insanely scary. And of course, you got the cheerleaders looking on like, oh wow, that's pretty neat. And then we kill the contortionist. No, we don't. But like, what we have to do is we gotta get people scared of this shit. Like, actually fucking scared. Words, okay look, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words hurt like hell. But the words will never hurt me if I don't let them. Like, we can tune out words, but we can't tune out something traumatic. Like, if we got the contortionist in there and he did that weird fucking... Ow. But if we got a contortionist to scare the living shit, like, get her head through her fucking ass, friggin'... Not only will that be scary for us dudes, at the very least, but it'll scare the shit out of everybody. And make sure that he does the most blood-curdling scream you've ever heard. Give him like fake blood pellets coming out of his shoulder, like freaking make him look like fucking devil just worshipped his ass. And then have him get up on normal like, okay, so, are you gonna vape? No! Like, we should just make it look like not cool as possible. Like, don't do the contortionist bit. Don't do the fucking robot dragon thing. Make Urkel do it. Make make nerds on Nickelodeon do it. Nobody's gonna wanna do it. Like, fucking get Ryan's Toy Review to do it, and then like we'll be fine. He'll be fucked up for life though, but he'll be fine. Like, if we get people who we really respect to tell us not to do that, and then we get people that we fucking hate doing it, then we're gonna hate them more, we're gonna respect the big guy more. Like, I don't understand. Like, is it because every celebrity knows that if they do that, their coolness is instantly gonna go down? No, we should have faith in teenagers these days. Like, we should get someone who makes sense. Don't get Snoop Dogg to say that shit, because we know what he's doing. But you know what? We should also get like frickin' Tobey Maguire or fucking Tom Holland and be like, don't do that, kids. Like. Or better yet, we could threaten them, like, because I know that we're not all smart. Only people like me are. I'm not smart. But if we get people Like, here's my commercial, okay? There's a dude. He's vaping. He's minding his own business. Okay? He's a good-looking dude. He's vaping. And then a group of the hottest bitches you've ever seen walk past this dude. And I was like, ew. And get the ugliest one and go like, oh, hey, baby. Like, then he moves out his face like, yeah. But then get the ugliest one in the group, you know, fucking busted ass lips, broken teeth, freaking moles covering her body. Bitch looks like you can't tell if she's 97 or 18. She comes out of the group like, hey. And then a good looking dude's like, oh, the fuck. Never mind. I mean, it may be demoralizing to those women, but look, it's gonna help us boys. And then, I don't know if this was an advertisement or if it was a skit, but like, remember back in the day when Tinder was coming out and people wanted to be anti-smoking, they made us swipe left. They were showing a really good looking dude swiping left on all the chicks that were smoking. You could do the same. Just get really, really good looking guys, like really buff, you know, got the six-pack, chiseled abs. Not like this shit. But you should get them, but just make women like freaking, oh, gross, 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 gross. Like, he's got the vape in his front pocket. She's like, ew. And guess what? Nobody's gonna want to do that shit. Nobody's gonna want to fucking... Nobody's gonna be like, oh, this makes me look so bad. Like, we care about our reputation at this age. Not me. But other people my age, we care about our reputation. Just make it look like this is gonna ruin your fucking reputation for the rest of your life. Ooh. And like, we won't do that shit. But you know what? If you really want to use your marketing budget, if you want to use CGI, then show us cute little fluffy animals jumping past the place, shooting smoke out of their face, like, oh. Like, get Mickey Mouse to do that shit. He'd be like, vape is amazing. Whoa! But then like, degrade him. Make him get deeper and deeper. And make his voice more coarse. Make him sound like a fucking... We gotta make Mickey Mouse sound like Clint Eastwood, okay? Ha! Vape is great. Ha ha! By the way. Oh, and also, don't make anti-vape commercials look like video game ads. Like, there was this one where they were spinning knives around or some shit, and I was like, is that Skyrim? Like, and then there was the one where, like, the people were smoking joints and whatever, like, not joints, they were smoking jewels, and then there was, like, they had all contusions and shit, and they had little bumps that looked like fucking proto-sperms crawling through their veins and skin, attacking shit. I was like, are they making a new Resident Evil game? Holy shit, that's amazing. Like, don't do that. And, like, if that guy wasn't talking in that dragon, in that metal dragon dinosaur one, then I would have thought that it was fucking Transformers making a game. Like, don't make... Like, if we're just flipping channels and I see that, I'm like, oh, they're making a new Resident Evil. Oh, they're making a new Skyrim. Like, don't do that shit. Like, you gotta show, like, the worst off looking mother... Like, do what you guys did with gamers back in the day. Remember that shit? You guys made us look fat. We had freaking neck beards going all the way down our chest. We were huge. We couldn't get out of the chair. We lived in our mom's basement. Do that now. Like, get the same dude to vape on camera. Like, super fat, ugly dude, busted eyes, busted teeth, fucked up face, covered in Cheeto grease, covered in fucking room's a mess, and have him go, oh, this is cool. But give him the, oh, this is cool. Like, then nobody's gonna do that. Because we don't want to associate with that bastard. He's a dick. Friggin' cum-stained walls, covered in anime girls. But then, like, and you know what? We should be, if you want us to stay away from something, teach us about it. Don't just fearmonger, teach us. Because I had to look up what that shit was. I barely understood half of it. And it's because I'm young, yeah. But is that not the demographic that you're going for? Like, if you want a kid to know not to fuck with something, then you gotta show what happens. You gotta show what happens afterwards. Like, oh, there's nickel and the shit that you're using embalming liquid in there. Well, what's it gonna do? Like, you can't just tell us. You have to show us. You have to explain. Like, you can't just throw out a list of words and say, don't fuck with it. Of course, we're gonna be curious. We're gonna go in like, how come they don't want me to fuck with this? What's wrong? I feel fine. In fact, I feel great. No! No! Don't do that. You gotta make it be like, okay, here's all this shit. Here's what it'll do to you. Go ahead if you want, but everybody else will be living a good life. And then the kid will be like, oh, so that's why they don't want me to fuck with that. I don't want to fuck with that. I'm out. But also, like, don't be dicks about it. Like, don't be like, oh, your life's gonna go straight down the drain if you do this. Like, yeah, it's bad. You want us to keep from doing that. Just show us the community. Like, show us the community you don't want us to be part of. Because honestly, that's the worst part of everything, is always the community. Like, every person that vapes, they're usually a dick about it. Like, friggin', if you wanted to show me not to smoke, don't show me the big bag wolf walking away from the... Actually, no, that was actually really effective. I didn't want to smoke after that. But, if you get this dude, this asshole, okay, fucking obnoxiously huge hair, frickin' surfer fucking shark tooth chain on it, and he goes around, oh dude, my fucking eye. Just show some asshole being a real dick about it. Like, just have him blow it in everybody's face, get a fake CGI baby right into his fucking developing lungs. And you know what? Less people would smoke because they're like, wow, if that's the part, if those are the people that I'm going to be having to hang out with if I do this, I don't want to be a part of that. And that's what we should do. Like, I feel like the people who made those commercials are thinking that every teenager wants to be the best that they can be. No, we don't. We want to be as different and as freaking out there as we can be. That's not the way to go. The way you should go is, this is what everybody who you hate and who you don't stand for does. Instead of going, nobody will like you if you do this. Because the only kids who ever vape it's because they're punks. Like, you should show them how punk they are. Like, get freaking the biggest punk. Fuck. I keep going back to Pee Wee Herman and Urkel. But nobody knows who the hell they are. Ooh! Get, damn it, I forgot his name. Brad something. Brad something. Get Wee Man to do it. Get Wee Man to do it. If it's good enough for Wee Man, it's not good enough for me. Like, or get someone completely anti-PC. And we'll stay away from that shit because he's probably an ass. Like, actually, no, get the most PC person to do that. We're gonna stay away from that shit. Get the president to do it. Get Donnie Trump to hit the drool, and we'll stay away from that shit like it's fire, okay? Like, we're gonna avoid that shit like the plague. Like, or better yet, do what the internet does and just freaking go to town on the community. I mean, just go to town on vape culture and get us all hating it, and then we'll avoid it because we don't want to be a part of that. Actually, no, that could backfire, because that's probably the same with what we did with LGBT. But, or better yet, just make us aware of what'll happen. Like, the reason why smoke ads kind of worked was because, you know, they showed us with the little, like, holes in our necks and crap, like, but I guess, like, vape hasn't been around long enough to show us that. But you know what? Show us some rapidly decaying dude. Show us vape cans going off in people's faces, and we'll avoid it. Like the old THC scandal, the THC, when they had THC in vape cans. You know what got me to stay away from that? The THC, because like it seemed like on the news, every single person who tried that fucking kicked it like 2 days later. We should have campaigns like that. If you want us to not touch it, then make sure that we don't want to fucking touch it. Because that dragon thing makes me want to touch it even more. Like, but you know what? I don't care. Like really, I don't give a shit. Okay, so in conclusion, don't make it look cool. Make it look like the pussiest thing any teenager could do. Don't go for our humanity. Go for our pumpkinness. Or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Just don't make it look cool.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb